From the Standing Stone Farm Studio right outside downtown Nashville, it's time for the most ridiculous sports podcast in the world. So sit back, relax, and listen as Bobby Butler and Brandon Bond crack open a cold one and talk all things hockey, pop culture, and complain about everyday situations. It's the Pucks Out Podcast on the Penalty Box Radio Network.
Welcome into the most ridiculous podcast in sports and pop culture. I'm Bobby. He's Brandon.
Hey-o.
You can find us on the three majors of social media at Pucks Out Pod. Now let's crack open that cold Mayday beer and let's get after it. I got that Burrow Blonde today.
Same.
Nice.
Same. You can tell we're running up to the. You can tell we're running up to the end of our beer because we're drinking all the blondes now.
Pucks Out is powered by Mayday Brewery, the official beer of Pucks Out podcast. Catch them every Tuesday for trivia and Thursday on bigger nights where occasionally we pop in and you can say hi and occasionally win some tickets. You never know. You'll just have to go and find out. Today we're talking a bunch of news. We've got a bunch of trades in the NHL. We've got
trades in the NFL.
Ant-Man and the Wasp. Yes, NFL. Sorry, NFL trades. We're talking the craziness at the Michigan State MSU game and much, much more. How are you this week, bud?
Doing pretty good, man. Excited to get recording. Just been watching football. We kind of talk about this now. Yeah. There's really not a lot that you do this time of year. Went over to the folks' house last night. Had nieces and nephews afoot for Halloween. But man, nothing. Watching some sports, brother. What about you?
Oh, same, dude. Same. Last night was Halloween. The wife and I, we always take Halloween as kind of like our off day. We We put some candy out, but we put a candle out there and we don't really answer the door. Kids take what they want. We order pizza and we just watch some scary movies and just have an off day. And it's always great, kind of just veg out for a day. Been streaming, had some good Halloween streams where I dressed up, to end the month of October. Now we're in Turkey month, man. This is when football, this is when, playoff hopes are smashed and made in the month of November, man.
About to start, I think we don't want to take we moved in here, so we were, getting everything organized. And so some of our stuff that's not, been put in the shed or put up or stored was Christmas stuff. So now at this point, we're really like, do we really want to put up our Christmas stuff for 3 weeks, or do we want to just go ahead and decorate? And I think that's where we've landed. You know me, man. I'm about that Christmas life. So
I know.
And besides the fact that, look, man, I'm not trying to like waste my afternoon or day like putting stuff up and then again in a few days going back and getting that stuff. So
yeah.
It's up in the air, but when I say that, Bobby, it's happening, bro. We're going to have all the Christmas trees afoot. So yeah, man, but I am excited that it is November. So I'm here for it. We're not skipping Thanksgiving. I'm not like forgetting that it exists, but its traditions could be a little better. It could get up on its Thanksgiving music game a little bit. So
for sure.
If Frank Sinatra ever did a Thanksgiving album, I think I would have respected a little bit more personally.
But all right, let's don't forget to check us out on Patreon to get all the bits a day early and hear some naughty bits, and check us out on Twitch where you can find us gaming a good bit. I think next week we're going to sit down and get the Seattle thing done. I think later this week I'm going to get on and make the rosters so that we can have this watch party and just kind of see how bad my team kicks his team's ass. But hey,
you're not even winning game one. You're not even winning game one when I don't have.
I'm definitely winning game one. You're
definitely not. So obviously you're gonna be wearing like a suit, right? Like I'm wearing a suit. I'm getting a clipboard.
No, so you're gonna be the suit wearer. I'm gonna rock the Bill Belichick style. I'm bringing that to the NHL.
I think that's against the dress code in basketball.
In basketball? I mean, I maybe in basketball, but I don't know about hockey.
Oh, that's true. I was thinking basketball suit. It's gotta be against the dress code in hockey. It's gotta be against the. I don't know. It's gotta be against the dress code in hockey, though. Gotta be. You ain't never seen one of them scrubs out there. You ain't never seen one of them scrubs out there in no suit.
Tell you what, though, you know what all sports should do is go back to the '90s style of NFL where they have like the jumpsuits, the bright colored like sweatsuits. You know what I'm talking about? Those puffy. Yeah, that's all sports should just do that. For the rest of the time,
I think we skipped our fit check.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
what a great way to put it. Yeah,
just repping that old Chicago, football. You know what I'm saying,
I was just talking about old Chicago the other day because Murfreesboro lost their old Chicago, and that was kind of like the old Chicago closest to me. Now the closest old Chicago to me is in Franklin. Which is just not worth it.
Me too. No, I don't.
And I loved old Chicago. And listen,
loved it.
A lot of times,
two-time tour champion, baby.
Yeah, the service was not great there when you're just trying to go in and get some food. But man, beer selection, they were friendly. Like
was never worried about. I mean, this was college for me. So when I did most of my old Chicago, and so it was never. Look, they had. Look, I didn't need somebody to serve me when they had a buffet. I just went and got their lunch buffet, and I sat at the bar like I needed. Me and my boy Hoover. We just sat at the bar and chatted. So I mean, I'm a 2-time tour champion. So gotta always rep old Chicago football, baby. The gridiron tour specific. But then the Star Wars hat had to rock it. I watched a couple of episodes of Andor and loving it. So
I need to start.
Had to rock the Star Wars hat.
Nice. I'm excited to check out the Tales of the Jedi, that new animated one.
I saw one episode. It was Ahsoka's episode, and it was it's just a short little thing. I think they're all kind of different, but she was just a baby in hers. Like it was right before she goes to the Jedi when they kind of determine that she's very force sensitive or whatever. So I mean, it's not like a super long like tale.
Okay, so I guess I thought it was going to be because I thought somebody posted a video. I thought it was going to be right after the events of the Clone Wars. I thought it was going to be like kind of that transition phase,
and it may deeper into it. I'm just saying the first little episode stint. So I don't really know its structure. It was one that I didn't get a lot of information on beforehand. I just heard everybody, hey, Tales of the Jedi's out, and so you didn't have to tell me anything else, Bobby. It was Tales means stories, and the Jedi are Jedi, and so I was like, you can stop talking, sir. I'm sold on it. I don't need to know. So. So it may get into a little bit more in that. That was just kind of what I saw in the first little episode there.
Yeah, but I've got the dope old school Preds hat as well as the old school Preds koozie for Sunday's final Halloween stream. I went with just 80s dude, so I had this. I had my 80s glasses on.
There you go.
I had a fanny pack like on my chest, but it kind of like it was out of frame, so I ended up taking that off.
Right? But, why would you have it?
Yeah,
I should have party penguined you.
Yeah. We got some new Party Penguin emotes, pretty dope. But I was actually thinking about just being lazy and just doing Party Penguin for the whole stream. But then I was like, no, because then if someone redeems it, then it's like I got to take it off and put it back on.
You got to take it. No, you just have to take it off. They've given you the pass to not Party Penguin. You're a regular guy. I'm regular Bobby.
But all right, let's get into the news.
Everything you need to know about what's happening on the ice. It's time for news from inside the boards.
Reverse retros have been out for a minute now, and most of them look really good.
Yeah,
I'm pleased.
Yeah, me too.
I think without a doubt, without us discussing it, I think the winner for me, hands down, has to be the Florida Panthers, right?
Yeah,
it's taken them too long to get that.
Florida Panthers are way up there for me, but I am not sleeping on the Yotes, dude. I really, really like the Coyotes with the desert at the bottom, and I always kind of like that like abstract Coyote logo. but I hate to say this, but the blues is pretty cool, and I really,
I was thinking that too.
really like the Kings, dude. The Kings is pretty. I always like the crown. I always like that.
I always like that purple color.
Yeah, Florida though, it's really, really hard to beat that powder blue.
Yeah.
You know,
I do want to talk about the absolute
tree.
laziness of every single Toronto Maple Leafs jersey that they come out with.
Yeah.
At what point are we just going to admit that they just have it's the same fucking jersey?
Bob, come on, man. Why you gotta do that? They went with blue and a white leaf this time, as opposed to white with a blue leaf this time. Yeah, I mean, the absolute boringness. And on ESPN, the rankings, they have the Flames ranked pretty low. I don't hate it, but it's nothing to write home about.
It's pretty standard.
The Canes is pretty standard from what
Detroit
what
looks like they just made it in like Windows Paint.
Yeah, I kind of like that. I kind of like the old school stripes, but I love the Wild. I mean, the North Stars colors are pretty sick.
Okay. Oh, wait. So there's 2 Wilds in there then.
There's 2.0. There's 1.0 and 2.0.
Okay, that's right, because they got a retro last season as well.
Last season, yeah. I think these are just the 2.0, and I think all they did was just flip the colors from what they had on some of them. But yeah, I mean, obviously we can't walk out of here without discussing the Mighty Ducks, or the Ducks, but the Mighty Ducks logo there. Yeah, man, just a bunch of sick sweaters for sure. That don't like the Jets, don't like the Devils. I'm not a big fan of the Devils.
I'm looking for the Devils right now.
Devils, they have them ranked 20.
Oh, yeah. I don't. That looks weird. I don't like that.
The Predators,
I know I'm gonna get hate for it. Preds is okay. I'm not.
It's just okay.
I don't hate it.
It is
I don't
just
like
okay.
It.
Right.
Like,
it is just okay. And,
yeah.
I mean,
I'm not going to rush out and get it, but I'll eventually get one more than likely. But I'm not like, yeah.
I'm getting a new jersey and they're the same price. Hey, I'm going to get this cool different jersey or different sweater than I have. But it's not. If it was the Florida Panthers, like I'm thinking about rushing out to get one of the Florida Panthers.
Yes.
Sweater, you know what I'm saying?
And honestly, the Habs aren't bad either. That powder blue. That powder blue. Ooh.
Is real. It's such a when it's random, when it's not all the time for your team. It's such a cool switch for your team.
And I know I'm going to get hate for it because I always do, but I truly do love the Islanders fisherman logo. I think it's their best logo. I know people hate it. I get so much shit for it, but I like it.
What number? Where are they?
I'm looking at I just typed in. I'm looking at a picture.
I think it's okay. I don't like the colors on it. I don't like how how it just seems kind of weird. It seems like a team that you created in a video game. More,
100%.
You see what I'm saying? But honestly, I don't like them. But can we talk about the Lightning? Theirs is. It's not great, Bob. It looks like it looks like it was one of those shirts that was built to be a long sleeve shirt, but pretend it was a short sleeve shirt.
Yeah.
The ones that had the different colored sleeve coming out from under it, but it was really just all one shirt. But it's got the flames on it on the side, but it just looks like a Walmart logo. Like that was just like kind of. Man, those are bad.
Yeah, some are good. The Sens are very boring.
Yeah.
I kind of digging Seattle's. I mean, I kind of like that. I
don't really know how they have a throwback.
Yeah. It's the New Jersey. But all right, so enough of talking about these. Y'all go check them out. Let us know in the comments of which one you like the best. Jamie Drysdale from the Ducks out 4 to 6 months. They could possibly be without him for the entire season, depending on how recovery goes. That's a big loss for a team that is struggling. I thought they would be doing a little bit better than they are, but hey, they're not good this season.
They're doing about what I think they should be. That I think they would be.
Yeah.
Mason McTavish though, he's looking pretty okay. I mean, he's no Shane Pinto, but yeah, man. But that's a tough loss for the Ducks for sure. And I mean, it's always that question. 4 to 6 months is, what it would normally take to recover. But, some guys never come back and are never really the same hockey player. I mean, I know rehab is a lot different now, but that's always a risky thing when a guy's out that long for surgery.
Yeah. We've got Connor Brown from the Caps, ACL surgery, unlikely to return this year. The Caps are they're a weird team this year, and this doesn't help them. I think they're on that playoff bubble, and I think they need all the help they can to get in. And frankly, I don't know. I think even losing anybody at this point is going to be tough for that team.
Yeah, definitely. And kind of, back to the same thing. An ACL is generally, if you're not Adrian Peterson, usually about a year-long thing to kind of get back and rehabbed back. So, yeah, Caps are interesting this year. I think they're 5-4 right now. Does that
5-4-1,
sound right?
I mean, at this
Yeah,
point,
man,
they're out of a playoff spot, I think.
And yeah, I mean, you remember that was my big call was, I don't think this team makes the playoffs this year.
Yeah.
And we'll still see, but I agree. I mean, any type of loss to their overall roster isn't great right now. I mean, I don't think Connor Brown was that, glue holding everything together. But it's also most certainly, like you said, notable right now that a team that, you don't really know where they're overall going to sit because we're so early into the season, where they'll be a little bit down the road.
Yeah. Shane Pinto from the Sens named Rookie of the Month. 8 games played with 7.6 goals and 1 assist. Good month for the young guy.
Yeah, and he also was, probably his biggest honor. He got added onto the stream, my streams of the week list. So that's not something I just dole out to anybody. So yeah, congratulations to that guy. I mean, for the NHL Player of the Month, that's pretty cool and all, but they give out one of those every single month. So, that's all I wanted to say, that he should probably feel honored that the fantasy goons are have him on the old watch list. So, man, what a day! Sorry.
No, you can go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I just got ahead of myself. I'm already moving into outside the NHL because of all the fun NFL trades. So deal me out, Bob. Deal me out. I tried to speed you up.
Let's move into outside the NHL.
Now that you know what's happening inside the boards, time for the rest of the headlines with news from outside the boards.
It is a glorious day if you are someone who likes to keep track of NFL trades. We've got a massive list of them, starting now with Kadarius Toney from the New York Giants heading to the Kansas City Chiefs for a first-round pick. I'm sorry, Kadarius Toney was the first-round pick. And the Baltimore Ravens traded for veteran linebacker Roquan Smith, who, in my opinion, is just he fits in with that Baltimore team, and I think that's a great signing by them. Fun fact: the Ravens, more than likely, their top 2 paid assets will be self-represented. Roquan Smith is also self-represented. I think that,
they're trying to acquire all of the guys. Yeah. We're going to look up, and they're not going to have an agent in sight.
Yeah. I think that Roquan Smith, I think as a linebacker, he's a veteran linebacker. He's been in the league for a while. I think I'm a little bit more okay. I'm still not cool with it, but I'm a little more okay with a linebacker representing himself because he's not a quarterback. Quarterback, the demand for a Mike linebacker is not nearly that of a starting quarterback, especially one of Lamar Jackson. He will definitely, I think, take a back seat in payment to Lamar Jackson, who is going to have to be paid the entire bank to stay. But I like this. I like this signing by the Ravens. The Patriots have also received phone calls on some of their veteran wideouts, including Nelson Aguilar, Kendrick Bourne.
I can run through a bunch that have happened.
Okay.
I think that beginning was kind of more just setting the stage because those other two happened before today.
Oh, okay.
I don't think we hadn't talked
Yeah.
about them, but they had happened
I
before
heard
today.
about Roquan Smith this morning on First
This
Take.
morning
So
it happened.
I thought.
Yeah, it happened yesterday. Calvin Ridley traded to the Jags for a second rounder. Bradley Chubb traded to the Dolphins in exchange. Chase Edmonds goes to the Broncos. Naeem Hines to the Bills. Bills get Zach Moss in return. Who else here do we have? Jeff Wilson goes to Miami. I'm trying to think if I'm trying to hit like the main big ones in the week. Oh, Chase Claypool goes to the Bears. TJ Hawkinson to the Vikings, an interdivision trade, something you don't see a whole lot of. Still nothing from the Rams unless you've seen something coming out, but their talks, they're looking at Brian Burns. Cam Akers still hasn't been moved. That is the bulk of what I can remember. What surprises you the most?
Calvin Ridley is a little bit of a surprise for me.
He bet against that was the team. He bet the Falcons to beat the Jags. So now suspension's got to be longer. He bet against his team. So yeah, super surprised.
Yeah. What do you think? And this happened a couple of days ago. I mean, I think it was great for me for fantasy, but Christian McCaffrey to 49ers. I mean, my God, that is just I love seeing that for this kid. I think he needed out of that team.
Yeah. I mean, that's a big move. I don't know if Christian McCaffrey was that piece that puts them over the edge Super Bowl wise. I mean, absolutely could. I'm not. Don't hear what I'm not saying, but yeah, fantasy wise. It kind of helped and hurt me on one of my dynasty teams, where I had both Jeff Wilson and McCaffrey. So, I got a better situation for McCaffrey, but then Jeff Wilson's left without a home. Him moving to Miami has kind of eased that pain. But yeah, going, playing there, I mean, he's just a guy that's going to fit into really any scheme. As long as you're willing to scheme your game plan around him. Yeah, CMC moving was great for him. You want to see that guy, the great players compete for championships, and I think this is a really good shot for him to do it. Kadarius Toney, I think, it's up in the air at this point, but I mean, I think he could go and provide a spark for for the Chiefs. Even they've got a whole stable of receivers, but that guy has shown out a good bit. So, yeah, but I think probably the most not surprise. I mean, yeah, the Ridley trade was probably the most surprising in terms of wow, didn't really see that coming. I think Bradley Chubb to Miami is probably the one that can make the biggest impact for a team. Miami only has like 15 sacks as we sit right now, and that's just not enough pressure in a division that you have Josh Allen in. I mean, that's not feasible. You gotta step up that game. So, yeah, man, lots of. Thank goodness. Sean McVay is a great football coach, and he's already won a Super Bowl. But let's just thank him for the contribution he's done to the game in trading and winning a Super Bowl with it. It has really opened up all of the opportunities, and the coaches and the teams treat this more like this is like a baseball. This is like a baseball trade deadline or a hockey trade deadline where everything is going. I mean, have you ever seen this many trades at a deadline?
No, this is absolutely wild, and I'm loving it.
And big time guys. I mean, TJ Hawkinson goes to the Vikings. That's a huge piece for the Vikings. Irv Smith's going to be out for a few weeks. I mean, yeah, that's a first round pick a couple years ago. That's unheard of.
There are trades happening that if one of these would have happened several years ago, it would have been the biggest thing. Like,
Absolutely.
but you've got Chase Claypool moving is massive. I mean, there's so many different things happening here.
I mean, I think the Rams got a steal for it. I'm a little confused of why they're making moves for folks, but yeah, I like Claypool. I think that he has a good opportunity to be great. I don't know if that's with Justin Fields. I'm not sure. It may have been at some point.
I think
with Kenny
it's
Pickett.
better than his chances with Kenny. Yeah, Kenny Pickett. Yes, I mean,
yeah. I mean, he's played better with Kenny Pickett than he did with Trubisky. So hey, I mean, I'm really interested to see that. But it's intriguing that Naheem Hines moves to the Bills. I was a little confused about that, and they moved from Zach Moss. I was a little unsure about that move, but then again, I'm not a GM, so I don't know. But still nothing on Cam Akers. I mean, him sitting out the entire season would be ridiculous, right? Like if he doesn't get moved here.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Cam Akers. Let's move in now to our main topic of the day. This has been all over the place. The NHL and the coach's ability to bench underperforming stars. We saw Sheldon Keefe bench Mitch Marner, one of their top paid assets, after just having not been performing well. He got lit up by the media. Mitch Marner lit him up. This is after a couple weeks ago where Sheldon Keefe said that our superstars need to perform better, that they're underperforming, and Mitch Marner said in a post-game conference that he talked with the coach and and that discussed his comments and that they were inappropriate. Like, I get it; these are adults; they shouldn't be treated like children. But at the same time, you're underperforming. It's the coach's job to put the best person in who gives you a chance at winning the game. I think it really does limit the coach's ability to coach when from all sides, management, players, and media are attacking the coaches for benching these guys.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, you need to tune that out. Absolutely. I can agree with that. But this is, this also kind of gets into, you got to counterbalance, right? You're trying to win championships, but you're putting a product on the ice. That guy that comes in from Nashville, Tennessee to, go to Toronto or wherever to see his team play, there's that certain expectation that you want to see Mitch Marner play, whether or not he's doing well or he's doing bad. So I think that it is but it also goes back to, so that's one point of view. It's a business, and I'm not selling, try to win hockey games, but it's a lot like going and sitting down a star wide receiver, on your fantasy team for a guy that's been performing. It's just not something that you would necessarily do. Your chances are still better with Mitch Marner stepping up and becoming Mitch Marner.
Yeah.
On any given night.
These superstars have proven that they're superstars. They are professionals. Slumps happen. The entire team is slumping. It's not all Mitch Marner's fault. I mean, and I think that we see this across the league. And the biggest issue, you got to ignore the media. The biggest issue is management and players coming after the coaches when they bench these kids. I mean, sometimes a benching is deserved, sometimes it's not. But we can't.
They're not putting in the work.
Attack the coach.
If they're not putting in the work, good on it. Pull them out. But tell us, they're not putting in the work to maintain and secure this job. But there's no way that Sheldon Keefe, benching somebody for a game to get their attention, sure, whatever. But there's no way he can sit there and look at me straight in the face and tell me that his team has a better chance of winning with bringing in one of the guys that he normally healthy scratches over Mitch Marner. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like that's no offense to these professional athletes. It's just you're going to need to do a little bit better than, well, they got to perform. Well, I mean, there's 82 games in a season. I mean, you're not going to be a superstar for all of them. We're 10 games into the season. So it's just it just seems like we're way too early in the process for you to be benching, $10 million. That's all.
Yeah.
That's more of where I land in it. If we're sitting here, in the 50th, 60th game of the season, and the Leafs are 20-40, or whatever, we're having a different conversation than they're 3-4 right now, something along those lines of like not ridiculously crazy or anything. So it's just it defeats his
The Leafs
his
are now
point of being a coach.
4-4-2.
4-4-2, and you're benching
second. Yeah, they're second to last place in each division.
And you're benching people.
Yeah.
The very first thing I said that I believed in, that it's your job as a coach to be able to do this stuff and not worry about what the media says. You also kind of defeat the purpose of being the coach and being the guy making decisions when you're just making what looks like snap decisions that any bozo on Twitter would make. Mitch Marner hadn't scored a point in 4 games. I mean, I'd bench him. I'd probably put him on the bench. You know what I'm saying? Like that's more of the realm of what we're getting at right now. What it feels like. I'm not in that locker room, and so he may not. He doesn't have to explain it to us. But guess what? People are going to talk about it and want some explanations. Whether or not he's willing to give it, it just seems like 12 games into a season. If I'm management, if I'm that guy's boss, I'm like, hey man, I got you the tools that you needed, and got you all these shiny things, but you're not using the new machinery that we bought, that we spent millions on, and you're back to doing this by hand over here. So I do have to ask, what are you doing? So that's where I land on it. I mean, this is this specific instance, but I mean, I think that we've been both of us have been kind of on both sides of this, where, look, we've seen a long-term problem and issue with Patrick Laine at Winnipeg. And I don't think that we were too quick to, hey, you got to pull him. But there is a certain point in which you can, if you don't undermine yourself earlier in the process.
For sure, 100%. Let us know what you think about the entire coaching, especially the Maple Leaf situation. Let's now move into games of the week.
Games of the week. Bobby and Brandon do the work so you don't have to. The best from around the NHL and what to watch.
All right. After last week, things are tied up both at 8 and 7. Last week I think I went I want to say 3 and 2. You went 2 and 3.
You went 2 and 3. I went 3 and 2, and then this week you went 3 and 2, and I went 2 and 3, and so we're 8 and 7. We're good.
Yeah.
Money wise, we did not do great this week. You did a little bit better than me. You started with $13.84 after we were gifted our $5 for the week, and ended with $11.87. That puts you down $1.97 for the week and down $3.13 overall. So not bad. I mean, we threw the puck line in there, which got me a couple of times. I got the puck line on winning games. So at least I get to keep that shiny record. I started the week with $16.03. All right. Yeah, that's a big, strong, little lead over you, Bob. Well, I am down below you as I lost all 5 of my bets, and I'm at $11.03. And so, can we just talk about how that's almost as impressive as winning all 5 is losing all 5? So, I mean, it's our first time that one of us, we haven't been doing this long, and usually it takes a while for one of us to do this, but it's the first time that we've had an 0-5 betting week. So,
yeah. But all right, so why don't you start us off with your games of the week for the current week?
Yeah. Starting off Thursday tonight, if you're listening on release day, Bruins Rangers games at 6:30. I'm tilting here, man. I am gonna go with Yeah, the Bruins are hot right now, man. They're so hot. They're 8-1. I'm sticking with the hot hand. I'm gonna go with the Bruins.
Nice. I've got the Islanders at St. Louis on Thursday at 7 p.m. I'm taking the Islanders on this.
Okay, yeah, I like that. I'm gonna go. I have my next game Friday the 4th at 1 p.m. A weird Friday game. Most people will be working. So sneak that in when you're working, guys. Just throw that up. You actually have a full hockey game. It's the Columbus Blue Jackets playing the Avs. I am going to go, surprisingly, Bob, I'm going to go with the Avs puck line. so I can lose
risky,
that.
I see.
Yeah, I got to go. I got to go with the risk.
I've got Buffalo at Carolina, and as good as this Buffalo team is, surprisingly, I'm gonna go with Carolina at home to beat the Sabres.
Yeah, Buffalo's not doing too bad though. They're second in the Atlantic, 6-3 right now. So,
and I think for that one, I'm gonna go ahead and take the puck line on it.
Ooh.
I'm hoping that I get lucky, and and it's only like 1.5. That it's not anything crazy like 2.5 or anything like that.
It's only money, right? It's only money. Excuse me. All right, I'm going to go with on Saturday. Lots of good games on Saturday, but a good matchup between the Vegas Golden Knights. They're playing at the Habnadians, the Habs. 6 p.m. This is tough, man. I'm tilting. I was coming in here, no problem. I'm taking Vegas, no question. I think I'm sticking with it. I'm gonna go with Vegas. I'm really, really leaning. I almost want to take the Habs to get their puck line, but I know that that we can't do it that way. So I'm gonna go with Vegas and just straight up. I'm not gonna go puck line or anything.
Well, on Saturday, I've got Dallas at Edmonton. I'm gonna say that Dallas goes in and beats Edmonton. I see. The thing is, this is one of those times where I think Dallas would go in as the underdog.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I just don't know. I don't think that they're gonna. I think that if they win, I don't think they're gonna cover. I don't think Dallas is gonna cover like a -1.5. So I'm gonna hope that Dallas goes in there as the underdog, and I'm gonna take the puck line for that as well.
Okay. All right. So our first gamble at the underdog puck line. Hopefully, we'll see. You might get like a +300 -1.5 or something. All right.
Oh yeah. See, I guess because I guess taking puck line for an underdog is worse odds.
It's +1. It'll be worse because if they're the underdog, you're going to get the +1.5.
Okay.
Because remember, we just said whatever the bet was, you're taking because you're betting on the winner here. So you can't also bet on their +1. I mean, you can if that's what it happens to be. That's why the puck line is the risk. The puck line is
So I would have to take. So if I think so, I would have to take whatever the plus is.
Yeah, if it was the standard bet. If it was the standard bet, like if whatever the odds are, you got to take their puck line. And so if it's +1.5, there's a chance you lose the bet. But
if I get in there and it's -1.5, then it's
you got to take.
I'm getting worse odds. Then yeah.
Well, you'll get better odds, but it'll be harder for you to get.
Yeah. That's
like I win by 2 goals.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just more of that.
I already said I'm gonna stick with it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you get +1.5, this is the one opportunity that you get a chance to win the bet but lose the game.
Yeah.
You see, if you did end up getting that +1.5, so
yeah.
I don't hate it, man. I think that either way, I think that you're solid. I think that Dallas goes in there and wins that game. So I mean, I think that you're looking fine. Hopefully, so you'll be good money wise. You just may not win as much money as you want. Speaking of a team that superstars are underperforming, I'm just going to hope that I guess Mitch Marner's not playing. And we got the Leafs playing the Hurricanes on Sunday at 4 p.m., which is same time as, the games that game that you have. There's only 3 games on Sunday. I am going to go with the Hurricanes. And I am, you know what? I didn't learn anything from last week. We're going puck line, baby. Let's go. Stephanie,
Nice.
I need more money.
On Sunday, I've got Detroit at the New York Rangers. I'm taking Detroit, and I'm not taking a puck line here. I'm just taking the money line on that.
Love that. Love that. That's now the problem is I got the Bruins beating the Rangers at home, and you've got now have Detroit beating the Rangers at home. I'm gonna have to guess. If not both of us, one of us is definitely wrong. I don't see them losing two in a row at home there. My final game, 6 p.m. on Monday the 7th. We have the Oilers playing the Caps. I think the Oilers coming off that loss that your Dallas boys put on them, comes out and beats the Caps. I'm not gonna go puck line. I'm just gonna go straight up. Honestly, 1 week I'm just gonna straight puck line it and just I mean, I might have to after a few more weeks of losing like this. I don't want to be at 0.
So my last game, I've got Calgary at New York, and I'm tilting on this.
The Isles.
Yeah, I got the Calgary at the Islanders. I've already got the Islanders beating St. Louis on the road. I'm gonna take the Islanders at home on this one, and fuck it, I'm gonna take puck line.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I think that's a good one that you might get a plus number there. It might not be too bad. I think I like them. I like that. I like that pick better than I do Islanders winning at St. Louis. For sure. Well, good luck this week, man. Another.
We need it.
Yeah, well, that's just the money. Remember, we're still 8-7 on picking games and stuff, which is our bread and butter. We're just dipping our toes in this whole gambling business.
All right, guys, we're going to move into pop culture. We are talking about Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania in the trailer. Check out the link in the show description to see the one that we watched. I'm excited. We're getting a Kang movie.
Yes.
This looks dope as fuck, and I'm excited. The moment that we saw them saying, "Oh, you made a homing signal to the quantum realm," and they all had that face feeling like, "Oh, this is gonna get real good."
Right. I mean, it's gonna be perfect.
Yeah. Our boy Bill Murray's in it. Super excited about that. All around, I think this is gonna be I think this might end up being one of the best films of the post Endgame
the stage,
era so far.
Well, and there's lots of theories floating out there, and you kind of like how they're going to tie everything in. The quantum realm is going to be, I think, a big portion of, like you said, the setting the stage for. There's no big bad in the Marvel universe. It's there's a bunch of big bads, and so the ultimate, the big bad at the top of the pyramid of schemes that we're going to have to weave our way to. I think that they need something to kind of start tying things together. That was something that we started getting in the original MCU story. So I think that I agree with you. I think this could kind of be it. We kind of set the stage with Loki and the multiverse of madness and WandaVision about kind of what can be out there. But Quantumania and Ant-Man, and I'm super jazzed. I really, really liked both of the Ant-Mans that came before this. So I don't see that this should be any different. We're gonna get Jim from The Office. Hats off to you for not seeing Race. We gotta get my boy Jim back in the game. So. Yeah, man, I'm super excited. When we watched this, was it Kirk Douglas?
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, Kirk Douglas is back, so yeah, man, I'm looking forward to his role as Hank Pank him, I guess. Hank Pym. Yeah, so looking forward to Ant-Man. But hey, are you gonna go and see what date does Wakanda Forever come out? Because I'm just
Ooh,
thinking
that's a
about
good
that.
question.
Stephanie just got her email from ANC saying, "Hey, happy birthday month! You get free popcorn." And so that's like
Is
a
it
40,
November 10th?
maybe so. That's like a $45 gift, from AMC. So maybe we'll go watch that in the theater, even though I don't normally do that.
Release date November 11th.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so about 10 days. So yeah, maybe we'll do that.
Yeah. It's a Friday. Maybe we might go see it on release day. I'll talk to Meg about it, and maybe we do. Maybe
we'll link up. Maybe all four of us will link up and look into it. So
and that'd be a good time to get you that Mayday beer. So
get the Mayday beer. Maybe we do a fun birthday date night for her at Dave and Buster's, and then we can go to the movie theater right there. Boom! Look at this. I'm championing. Okay, I'll let you know. I'll talk to her and let you know.
All right, yeah. But all right, guys, make sure to check out the Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania trailer. Let us know what you think, what your expectations are. One thing I'm hoping we see is maybe, obviously not this movie, but down the line, I hope we see whether it's the Avengers or whatever, team up with Doom. So that lines up the next big bad, which would be Doom. Because Doom is an awesome villain because he's got like the right mindset to an extent.
Mm-hmm.
But he's just, and his tech is better than Tony Stark's. He's a brilliant scientist, and he's a great villain. And all the animated stuff in the comics, I love Doom, and that means we might see Secret Wars and everything.
I mean, they're going to take all of our money. They're absolutely going to take all of our money. I mean, they're just people that are starving for more. Like if they put out 30 movies, not everybody would watch all 30, but I mean, people like us would watch all 30. But there's going to be something for everybody. Everybody remembers that comic book when they were younger that was impactful to them. And finally, they have the budget and opportunity to do it.
Yeah. But all right, let's move into joke of the week.
The weird.
Corey Perry.
See, I don't like that. Wild. I think the first read was a good one. Now I'm overthinking it. Outlandish.
Each sixth chick sat on a stick. Little tongue twister.
And downright dumb.
You're kidding me.
It's time for the joke of the week.
It is pandemonium in Ann Arbor as 4 Michigan State football players were suspended following a brawl in the tunnel after a Michigan State game. On Sunday night, MSU head coach Mel Tucker released a statement that announced the suspension of Tank Brown, Kerry Crump, Angelo Gross, and Zion Young. I'm surprised Hingle McCringleberry was not part of the fight as well. But yeah, I saw the video, and I feel like I don't have. There's a lot of things going on in this. Yes, those players should be suspended. Frankly, they should maybe even be expelled. The parents of the player in question who was jumped, they are seeking, they are pressing charges and compensation for the damages, rightfully so. However, there is more to this. I think. A, are those players in the wrong? Of course, yes, 100%. B, and I've said this for a long time, these sports should not have shared tunnels.
Yeah.
This is a competitive sport. It's a violent sport. It is a sport that your adrenaline is going for a long time, and you see the person on the other side of you as quote unquote the enemy and the person that you should be hitting nonstop. And after a loss, these are kids. These are not professionals. These are 17, 18, 19-year-olds who at this age, they should know how to control themselves. But let's face it, life is life, and they obviously don't. We got to stop with the shared tunnels, and if we have to have these shared tunnels, there needs to be a way to keep them from being going.
It needs to be separated,
time.
Right? That's so. I mean, James Franklin said this, earlier this year. Like, this is gonna be a problem. Talking about this, where, and then Jim Harbaugh comes out and arrogant, in his monotone, he's holier than thou version of talking about things. Well, looks like James Franklin was the one that was riling his players up, and I mean, like this is exactly as you said, a shared tunnel is of these are human beings. They're kids, like you said, but they're the enemy. I mean, and especially in these rivalry games, we're getting to a point where
how often do we see that they're at the midfield and they literally how often do we see in Miami
they
Florida
go
State,
up and
they're literally like
they're shaking hands and they're hugging and they say good luck out there, guys, and hey, we're gonna send you one of our players and you guys send us one of yours to foster on the sidelines and sing Kumbaya with. No, they're 17 and 18-year-old kids that are wanting to tear their heads off. So at some point in their life, they can get paid millions of dollars to tear people's heads off.
And they're being told to do this because you know what the cameras love? Oh, the cameras love the shot of the 50-yard line pregame where the players are kind of jaw jacking, kind of getting that line going, and the coaches have to come in and separate them a little bit. This has been happening for years. It was only a matter of time before this happened.
You know what I'm saying? And I love it, bro. That's gamesmanship. You know, in my mind, that's doing anything and everything in your power to mentally get inside your opponent's head. That's the game. Yeah. But the game's over. You're in the tunnel. There ain't nothing. I mean, it goes beyond, hey, two guys squaring up and fighting. Hey, you shouldn't do that, buddy. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, that shouldn't happen. But we literally started a podcast so we could talk about, guys that get paid professional money to fight each other and then sanction fights on. Look, man, I love watching a good fight. That's not a fight. You just jump you're jumping guys. You're hitting them with helmets. You're kicking, you're stomping them on the ground.
And that's my biggest thing is the hitting with the helmets thing. Now, here's the thing. When I said I don't know the whole story, this Michigan player did not deserve to get jumped like that.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if maybe he was like injured and he was just heading back to his locker room. Maybe he was. Maybe he didn't say a thing. Honestly, as someone who played football, as someone who's also played college sports, I know that more than likely that's not the case.
He said so.
He's jaw-jacking. He's saying something.
That is it.
And you know what you don't do? You don't expect to walk up and start shit with a group of teammates, a group of who they see that they're all brothers.
Teenagers as well.
Like, you fucked around and you found out.
Absolutely. Yeah. Don't hear what I'm not. Yeah. It shouldn't have happened. They should get punished. They should get expelled. Like there's no place in that. Like I would never be a part of something like that. Like that's crazy to think, oh, I would stomp on somebody's head. I'll hit them with the helmet after a football game, But let's not pretend like that Michigan guy walked by and said, "Hey man, you dropped your wristband out there. I thought I wanted to give it back to you." He definitely told him where he was going to take his mother on a date tonight. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Or he probably said like "fuck Sparty" or some bullshit like that.
Exactly.
But everyone involved here is now in the finding out stage of fuck around and find out.
Yes,
rightfully so. Like, I mean, it's insane that it happened.
You hope he said nothing, obviously, so he's definitely all in the right. But Mike Tyson said it best. He said, social media has grown to a point where people feel like they can say anything and get away with it without that risk of getting punched in the mouth. Okay? Yeah. I mean, that one guy that kept talking to Mike Tyson on the plane found out about Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just one of those things that, he probably said something, but again, it doesn't matter for the ultimate scheme of things. What a joke. What a way to ruin your entire life. Like you're there definitely, whether or not you're going to the NFL, you're definitely getting a college degree from Michigan State for free to play football. I just, I can't imagine.
Plus all the other incentives you're getting.
Yeah, man. I'm sure.
All the women or men you can ever wish of pulling. Yeah,
exactly.
Some of these guys, I remember. Tank Brown is a name that people know. I've heard that's a name I know. I'm not even a Michigan State fan. He was a guy who had a bright future. I mean, these kids have to remember that they are not. They are bright enough,
Bobby. Let's not be naive.
True.
If it's bright enough, he gonna be all right.
Hey, but that's why there's the University of Miami. All right, there's a reason why Miami.
Miles Garrett.
Why the U exists.
Miles Garrett's like, hey, bud, don't worry. If you're good enough, you can do it literally on the field in a game on national television, and you'll be fine.
Yeah. And I mean, listen, if you want to murder somebody, you got to take notes from Vontez Burfict. He knows how to murder somebody and get away with it.
It's a long term deal, you know? It's a long-term thing. He's like, bro, 5 or 6 years, you're going to know. That was the Burfict. Yeah, man. What a joke, though.
But all right, let's move in now to our what are you binging? It's the start of a new month. It took a little bit of persuading. I was a little bit hesitant at first because I didn't like the first 2 episodes, but I stuck it out and I am very happy I did. So first off, thank you, Brandon. Thank you to everyone else who told me about it. She-Hulk was really fucking good.
Dude,
I
so
really enjoyed it. And I got to be honest that I'm going to admit something that I did. I watched the entire season. The final episode, I fast forward through about half of it. When I saw that she was going to lose her powers, there's one trope in shows I don't like it when like these people lose their powers because I'm not watching I'm not watching Ally McBeal. I'm watching She-Hulk.
Right.
So I fast forward. I saw that she became She-Hulk. Yeah. So I was like, okay, cool.
So you had to
She-Hulk
go back.
And then,
you had to rewind back and watch it all.
Well, no, I was just like, all right, I get, I know it. But then I was like, oh, but then like this thing started happening and spoilers. But then like when that fight happened and Hulk comes in, I'm like, I don't like this at all. This is really bad. Then the way that they turned it on its head, I was like, all right, I'm here for this. This is really good. I like what they're doing. Yeah. It's clever. It's funny. It's fun. That's like we said, that's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be fun, and I enjoy it.
Not taking itself too seriously. Yeah, man, it was funny because in a time, and you'll even see, me. It's really House of the Dragon has really drug me. Back in. I should say, drug me. I've sprinted back into the world for any reason. But in a time,
I was saying, did they slip you a Mickey?
Yeah, when in the time when House of the Dragon's coming out, and it is so absolutely good, and She-Hulk is like I could like feel myself like anticipating and like looking forward to that She-Hulk every week. I was very sad when that was over. I mean, as much as I was sad of House of the Dragon being over, She-Hulk being over was bad. I'm glad I got you into it. That was my Moon Knight. Took a little bit of convincing to get me around to Moon Knight, and I friggin' loved it. And so I'm glad you love She-Hulk. For mine, I think I mentioned this before, but Severance on Apple TV with Adam Scott. It's basically, it's kind of like a not mystery, but like
I think you told me about this. Yeah.
Where you're split, like you go into work and you don't remember what happened. So I watched the first season of that, and so it's not like super my style, but the acting's really good, and now I kind of want to know what's going to happen. So I will watch season 2. But my other A World of Ice and Fire has really drug me back into it with the House of the Dragon. Reading Fire and Blood. I've been reading the Winds of Winter chapters. Your boy is living on the Song of Ice and Fire subreddit, and eating up theories and things. So yeah, I mean, I'm really binging that world hard, and gonna destroy you in our trial by 7. So just so you know, you're done.
And I would like, and we do have an update, a little bit of an update, 2 different things about the World of Ice and Fire. George R. R. Martin on his Not a blog said that he is about 2 weeks done from writing the last character narration point of the book. I don't know what that means. If that means he's 2 weeks done from
that means he's a liar. That means he's a liar.
He said but then he said he's about 75% fully done with the book. So I'm assuming that means he gets done with these narration points or chapters, and he gets to do the edit. He has to add another 30 chapters.
I hope, but I do not. I just pretend. I'm just going to pretend that it's never coming, and if it does come, great. He said that if he did not get it finished by 2020. That they could jail him in New Zealand. So, I mean, he's not jailed. It's just my man's isn't going to, because technically it's supposed to be finish Winds of Winter, and then Fire and Blood Volume 2, and then finish the Duncan Egg novellas, and then Dream of Spring. We're never getting a Dream of Spring. It's never happening.
No. And I almost wonder if he knows that, and that's why he's extending Winds of Winter to wrap up everything because he wants. I mean, I don't know.
No, he won't.
Because I know he said the Winds of Winter could be split into almost 3 books, which is insane.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
there's also the Rise of the Dragon, an illustrated history of the Targaryen dynasty, is out, volume 1. It is a illustrated book, kind of is kind of like an abridged version of what is
Fire
it?
and Blood.
Fire and Blood. So I want to get that. I heard that the illustrations are absolutely amazing, and it is some of the best fantasy artists in the world contributed to it. And it really, and George R. R. Martin, while he didn't do any of the writing in it, he had co-authors do it. He did greenlight all of the images. It was kind of like it's what he sees the world as, and I'm excited to kind of check that out.
Yeah, I mean, I probably will eventually, but I'm more. I've already read The World of Ice and Fire, so I kind of got the history and reading Fire and Blood. So yeah, I mean, eventually I'll definitely grab that, but I don't care about art. It's dumb.
Yeah. Let's jump into what's snapping your stick.
Bobby and Brandon are about to find out exactly what snaps their sticks.
All right. I got something that has been annoying for a while. Really killing me recently, though. Every morning, I have a routine. Get up, get my coffee, sit on the couch. While I eat my breakfast, I watch a little bit of First Take, a little, switch over to Undisputed, back and forth. Recently, the amount of commercials on ESPN has gotten insane to the point where what they do is they do show a full 3.5 minutes of commercials. They come back with whatever host of the show saying, "Hey guys, this is what we're talking about. We're talking about this, and this," and they do another 3.5 minutes of commercials. By then, I've finished my breakfast. It's time for me to get my day started. I wanted to sit down and watch a solid 10, 15 minutes of Stephen A. He's like my alarm clock. I need him yelling. I need him to yell at me to wake me up in the morning. I need to yell at him a little bit. I gotta get my blood flowing a little bit. But no, instead I've got to watch the same fucking commercial about how if I have mesothelioma, I can get compensation. I don't want to see that shit. I pay for fucking ESPN Plus. This is a rerun. I'm not waking up at 5 a.m. to watch the first air. It's a pre-recorded thing. I feel like with ESPN Plus, I should be able to watch First Take with no commercials. This is bullshit. And that's not even including the fact, and I have a mini one. My compressor on my office fridge is out, so it's buzzing all the time. Luckily, my mic's not picking it up, but I hear it.
Yeah, I'm not hearing it, so that's good. So you're good there.
Yeah.
Mine, Sunday morning, pre-football. Well, I mean, football was happening in London, and I was listening to it on the radio. I go to, go somewhere real quick before Red Zone starts, and there's a train just chilling, just stopped on the tracks. And so, I don't know how long that train will be there. So I got to go, all the way, the long way, out of my little neighborhood area to avoid this train. What? Why? I mean, I'm sure this is more of just, the traditional what snaps your stick. I'm sure there's a reason. There's no reason that they would just do it on purpose or anything. That doesn't lessen the stick snapping, Bob. I'm flustered about it.
I don't know.
Okay?
I just Googled why do trains just chill on the tracks, and it says here, ever since 1991, they have decided to chill on the train tracks in anticipation for Brandon Bond from the Middle Tennessee area, specifically to annoy him.
Honestly, only ever happened to me once or twice, so they're doing a really shitty job.
Yeah,
I've lived
they've lost a lot of funding.
I've lived.
They really should have started it 16 years after it, when you could start driving. They really didn't. Their planning was not great.
They did. They lost all of their funding pretty early on when I tricked them.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. At least there's a reason, Bob, and that's part of the problem with me is not knowing why these folks are out to get me and me alone. Nobody else was going to have to drive past those tracks today. So.
But all right, guys, thank you for hanging out with us. Catch us on the Fantasy Goons, and we'll be getting back to Home Pod Office very soon to talk more House of the Dragon before we move on to something else over on HBO. For Brandon Bond, I'm Bobby. We'll see you all next week.
Peace.
Thanks for listening to the Pucks Out Podcast. To see what other ridiculousness the guys are up to, check them out on Twitter and Instagram @PucksOutPod.